So really just finding out why are you moving, and then their motivation is going to be huge too, because that lets me know if they're not super motivated, yes, I'm going to keep in touch with you, but they might not want the weekly aggressive approach that I usually have for a follow-up, versus some people are like, I have 30 days because my lease is expiring. I know I need to be on it. I need to answer the phone when they have questions, and just making sure that we're really here to support them.
Welcome, Allie, to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're like the voice behind the phone. You're always on the phone with our clients, helping our clients. Allie's role within our team is the new client coordinator. And you've been on our team 7 years?
7 years, correct.
Yeah. So she is like the yin and the yang with me. That Allie and I work directly together on helping clients get pre-approved and get under contract. And then on our team, Kathy and Cheryl primarily focus on helping the client from contract to close. So I like to say like offense and defense on our team, that you and I are on the offense. We're the ones trying to help them apply, help them get pre-approved, help the deal get done. And then Kathy and Cheryl on the defense make sure it doesn't fall apart, right? Like, and to close on time and to meet the timelines. And they're really two totally different skill sets. They're more like the organized, detailed, and you and I are like the social fun, it have more of the outgoing personality. And Kathy's kind of a blend. Between. In between. So, but I'm super excited for everybody to understand, what your role is within the team. But let's unpack you a little bit, though, as a person first, right? So you live in Cottage Grove.
Born and raised Cottage Grove with my family, and I have 2 kids, one on the way with my husband.
Yeah, it's exciting. What do you guys like to do for fun?
We do a lot of stuff around the house with the kids. The kids like to be outdoors, so we have a nice little pool set up in our backyard and a trampoline. And when we're not doing that, we just bought a new camper recently, so we're doing a lot of fun camping trips together, but a lot of family, friend-oriented activities, bonfires, and just keeping the kids busy and keeping us on our toes. And
yeah, you love music too, right?
Oh yes, I'm a huge music person.
I feel like you go to a crazy amount of concerts. That's like your passion.
It is my passion.
How many concerts do you go to a year?
I go to a huge festival, which has lots of different concerts, but I'd say I probably average about 10 concerts a year.
Yeah, that's fun.
Depending on
I feel like pre-kids was probably even more.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's where I spent probably most of my money. I had a concert fund.
Yeah.
So.
That's fun.
Yeah.
And you love to exercise too.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Very disciplined, like on that. What time do you get up outside of pregnancy,
outside
baby
of pregnancy.
time? Yeah. You get up super early, don't you?
Yeah. Outside of pregnancy, I usually try to get up about 4:15 for my workout. I like to do it before the day because I have my energy. And then also I can focus on my family at the end of the day. So having all my workout, and that's my me time, focusing on myself and that discipline. And then it's the chaos of getting the kids ready for school and making sure everyone's ready to go. And then at the end of the day, I can relax. And that's when my husband can do his workout, and it works out perfect.
Yeah,
so,
that's great. I feel like your consistency on doing that is like your consistency at work. Like you're very consistent at that. So you're amazing on just being consistent, showing up at the same time, doing the same thing over and over again. And for like the client experience, that's really important.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Yeah, of just being there when they call. So can you let's give an example. So since this is probably primarily going to be real estate agents listening to this, let them know, what do you do on the team?
I'm the new client coordinator on the team. So basically what that means is I'm the first person that they would talk to, and I'm here to help guide you through the pre-approval process. So what I want to do is I want to establish trust from the get-go. I want to build excitement. I'm really excited to help you. I'm here to answer your questions. If there's something I can't answer, Andy is going to be able to answer those for you. So I'm just really creating that trust from the beginning. I like to build circle of trust with our referral partner that referred them as well, because that's how we're built in this business. And just really saying you are with the best realtor you can be with. You're going to have a great relationship. And making sure that we all have that great trust from the beginning. So what I do is I work with them on talking about their goals, finding out why they're buying a home or what their motivation is, asking key questions that are going to be important for the pre-approval process. I can do the application with them over the phone, or the questionnaire is what we call it, or we have an online application, so we can set up a meeting with Andy.
So when you're talking to the client,
Yeah.
like not the application questions,
Yep.
what are some of the other questions that you're going over with even prior to application, like their goals?
The main thing is finding out, why are you moving? Most people, it could be like it's for a job, or it could be we just had some kids and want to be closer to the parents so that they can be closer to family. And other people, it might be different circumstances. So really just finding out, why are you moving? And then their motivation is going to be huge too, because that lets me know if they're not super motivated, yes, I'm going to keep in touch with you, but they might not want the weekly aggressive approach that I usually have for a follow-up, versus some people are like, I have 30 days because my lease is expiring. I know I need to be on it. I need to answer the phone when they have questions, and just making sure that we're really here to support them.
The D's is why we're seeing
The
people move.
D's,
Yeah,
yes.
right? So that is, I want to get this right. So it's diplomas,
Diplomas,
right?
correct.
Diamonds.
Yep.
So they're getting married.
Yep.
Divorce.
Divorce is one.
Right. Death
Yep.
is another one.
Yep.
And diapers.
Diapers.
Right. Like that's the market we're in right now.
It is.
Right. It used to be like 4 years ago, people would buy just because the rates were low.
Correct.
Like there was no other reason.
You could buy that next level up and it would be the same as what you're paying now, versus now we have to get strategic. So
Yeah, we totally do.
Yeah.
So you're going over all those really good questions with them.
Yeah.
Then you're jumping into the credit application.
Correct.
Right. And I feel like we're probably 50-50 of over the phone.
Yeah.
Or online.
Correct.
Right. And happy to do both.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. I love
Yeah.
doing it over the phone.
Yeah,
So-
totally. So we have killer notes in our Salesforce system.
We do.
Yeah. And then what are you doing from there once you got the app done?
So once the application is done, I kind of have a better idea of knowing, what is the next path going to be? Are they going to be straight to a pre-approval, or is it something that's going to need maybe a little bit more guidance and hand-holding, and something that I can kind of talk them through? And that's either setting up a consult with you to look at the next steps to really help them get there, or me just giving them guidance, whether it's credit's not where it needs to be, but here's what you can do. Assets, meaning saving for down payment. These are all things that we can look at. So what's nice about working with us is we're not going to shove you out the door and reject you. We're going to give you, this is how you can get there. And I also follow up with those people. A lot of people that we have closed in the past, year or so, are people that have been trying for years. And we finally found a way for them to get that home. And I love doing that. So
Yeah, super fun.
yeah.
Yeah, like on how long it's taken.
Right.
For some people
Right.
to get 5 years.
And I'm like your little cheerleader over here, like, yay, you got your credit where it needs to be, or you saved the down payment. So
Yeah, cheerleading definitely comes natural for you. Yeah. It's,
yes.
Yeah, or maybe trained over time. So cool. So you're putting the client in my calendar then.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
So, and we're sending the invite out to the agent.
Correct.
And to the client. So as an agent, you know that you're in our calendar and
Yes.
ready for the meeting.
Yep.
Not for them to attend, just
Yes.
a friendly reminder.
Yep.
But then you're also in contact with the agent too, correct?
yes.
I'm giving them a status update.
Yep.
Yeah. So we like outbound communication. So they always know what's going on.
Yes.
Yeah, totally. And then you're helping them get all the paperwork organized too.
Yes. So what we do is we collect documents up front, because what we want to do for you as a realtor is making sure we're delivering a strong pre-approval for your client. So we actually ask for the documents up front to give you that letter, versus going off of them saying and verbally giving them on good faith.
Yeah. How often do
So-
we see that? Yeah.
We have people come to us that say, I couldn't get my deal done, and it's because their paperwork wasn't verified correctly. So it might be a headache for them, but you know what? We're doing it because we want to make sure you get to the closing table and can't close on your home.
Yeah, we just have one that we're closing this week.
Yes.
That they didn't verify anything.
Correct.
Or they just gave them a letter because they knew them.
Yep.
And it was like a train wreck.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Took some work.
Yeah, it did. And we were able to fix it and guide them, but it wasn't easy. It was unnecessary. Mm-hmm. Right? Like if they would have just verified everything, they could have showed them how to write the offer, and it would have been fine.
Absolutely.
But they just didn't do that. No consultation, no nothing. Just here's a letter. It's crazy to me that still happens.
Yeah. And I tell people that too, when people say, well, why do I need to have a meeting? And I say, I could give you a letter, but you're not going to know what that means. We want to show you why we are recommending this program, this financial plan, because it fits you based on your financials. It's different than what other people do. but you're also going to build a relationship with us because you're trusting us because of the letter that we're providing for you. So a little bit different than an online lender.
Yeah, we're the antithesis of that.
Yeah.
We're literally the exact opposite.
Correct.
Of that, where we're going to take the time. So then you help them get in my calendar where I get to jump in.
Yeah.
And then I get to meet with them.
Correct.
And do the pre-approval.
Yep.
And you can even do the pre-approval.
Yes.
So if I'm not available, you'll do it too.
Yeah, I've done lots of consultations.
Yeah, so if we're double booked, either one of us. And for the agents, to give you an idea, you've done thousands and thousands of credit applications.
I sure have. I've seen it all.
Yeah, totally. So Allie has credit apped more in 7 years, I would say, than the average loan officer has done in their entire life, by far, maybe by 3 times. So, because you were riding with me in COVID when we were doing crazy amounts of applications.
Yep.
I remember one day we got 99 new client leads in a day.
Sure did, when the rates dropped.
Yeah, we had 35 voicemails when we showed up on a Monday morning of clients inquiring. And you were jamming all the apps all by yourself.
I was weeding out which ones would work. And
I think we got up to like 150, 175 apps in 1 month. In that same month, we locked 85 loans. So like you were helping do all that. Yeah. We didn't have this mega team.
We did not.
You're kind of pre-consulting the client before they're even getting in a meeting with me. Yeah, because you're so experienced on that. And for most mortgage teams, it's not like that. A lot of the times the person taking the credit application doesn't know anything.
Right.
Like if they're helping guide, they're just saying go to the website, fill it out, and then the loan officer will review it.
Yeah, I think I definitely have to do some of the pre-consulting with people who don't know who our team is. Like if they're an online lead, which we do get, or someone who doesn't know who we are, I have to kind of sell them on, you're going to meet with Andy and he's going to provide all this for you, but this is why you should work with us. Because there are some people who are hesitant about filling an application because they feel like it's a commitment. And I'm saying, we want to provide value and show you why you reached out to us, what we can do for you to help you win.
Totally.
So there's just going above and beyond and helping with that trust in the beginning too.
Yeah, and softballs. We can do softballs.
We can do soft pulls, and that's another huge selling point. It's not going to affect your credit, which people are hugely aware of, and then also alerting other lenders because we don't want to be bombarded by a bunch of people. So we want to help you secretly and then show you the value. And then when you're ready to commit, that's when we can work on the next steps.
Because trigger leads are out of control.
Yes, they are insane.
Yeah, like we've had people where they get 100 calls in a day. But it's only random people. We don't even know why they pick certain people that they will just call like insane auto dialers. Yeah. And then other people won't get a call at all.
I know.
Which is so weird. I don't know if anybody knows why. There's some legislation in place right now trying to stop that. So hopefully it does. So after I meet with the client, I give them a consultation. Yep. I go over all the options, and then you're helping prepare the pre-approval for them.
Yep. I send it to the agent, and we also have the letter, which obviously says, hey, you're pre-approved. Whether it's address specific, meaning you already have a property identified, or if you're searching, it's just TBD. And that means that your realtor can edit it or we can edit it per address. And you're also going to have terms on there. So the agent is going to know what you had talked about with the client, which is nice. Is it contingent? How much are they planning on putting down? What is their comfort for their monthly payment? These are all things that we lay out so that when they are putting in offers, they're not like, what do I do? What are they pre-approved for? Which program? Things like that. So
yeah, I think that's huge in the body of the email.
Correct.
So it's not on the letter because I see pre-approval letters that'll have a price, and I don't ever like that.
Right.
Because if they're like making an offer, and then the seller can see, oh, you're pre-approved for 700, and you're buying at 500.
Yep.
You can afford to spend more.
Yep. You can move that price up a bit. Yeah. Correct.
It's like that doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
So we don't even have terms on our letter.
Yep.
For that reason.
Correct. We just have contingencies because that's what they need to know.
Yeah, totally. And then you're in touch with the client afterwards, then, right?
I am. Yep. So I have a pre-approval follow-up plan. And again, it goes by their urgency. When are they looking at purchasing? And I'm touching base at least once a week, whether it's emails that come out automatically that has value from when they met with you, or me just touching base and saying, hey, how's the home search been going? Any other pre-approval follow-up questions? Because the second you leave the doctor office, you're like, oh, I thought of this. And instead of going to Andy or yourself, I'm the one who can kind of help answer those questions too. So just making sure they know we're here for support and just providing value after meeting with you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that consistent for an agent, what I think what ends up happening is they meet with the client, they give them a consultation, they go show them like 1 or 2 houses, and they never follow up with them again.
Correct.
But we have a whole process in place.
Sure do.
That we never lose them, right? We got them all tagged. There's automated stuff that goes out, but most importantly, we're following up.
Correct.
Right? More specifically, you're following up and staying in front of them. No, usually every 2 weeks, sometimes right away it's more, once a week.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the plan is huge and the plan works because we're seeing like our business through August. I was just looking, we're going to be up like 38, 39% year over year, which is really sweet.
Yeah, and what's exciting about that too is that a lot of the clients are older people that were pre-approved years ago that we just kept in touch with.
Not old as an age.
Not old as an age, sorry. Older like, pre-approvals, meaning they were from years ago. And we just kept in touch with them, so that's why they wanted to work with us. We were top of mind. We provided value even after their timeline, and they came back and wanted to use us again. So that's important.
Yeah, it's a huge deal. And we're making sure they go back to the agent too.
Correct.
It's like if we talk to them 9 months later and they haven't talked to their agent, it's not uncommon. Unfortunately, agents do a better job, right? Like on following up. But it's not uncommon. They didn't even talk to their agent.
Oh, I get that all the time in emails. Hey, I just spoke to so they're like, oh, I have not heard from them in a long time. And I'll say, great, I'll get them back over to you. And they're like, thank you so much. Yeah. So it's all in the follow-up.
It absolutely is. And even some of the pre-ups that we have in the calendar this week, I think one of them was 6 years old, where it's like, holy smokes. But that's, a lot of who, like we said, who is buying right now is this market's been so tight for 2 years that they've still been interested.
Right.
Some people, I feel like we've updated their credit application 10 times.
Yes, we sure have.
So when you're following up with clients on the pre-approval process, we have emails that show them different strategies to win.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
So you're calling them either weekly or every other week.
Yep.
Right? We're emailing, just touching base.
Correct.
And then you're texting them.
Yes.
So lots of communication.
Lots of communication. I ask people to, when I'm doing the intake, what is your preferred method? Because we're working with everyone on the spectrum, meaning some people are like, I just want to have a quick text, or we have our doctors who it's easiest to text in between when they're running to clients. So we have people who are like, email is the best way to reach us. So I'll put that on the beginning, but I'm still going to do call, text, email, just because that's the way that I prefer to reach out to you. So, and once I do connect with them, I'm updating the realtor as well on what discussion is that we had.
Totally. And something that's cool, a little business insider stuff for our agents is we all can see that text. So the system we use.
Correct.
Everybody on the team can see it.
Yep.
I can see it at nighttime.
Yep.
Like if someone's reaching out, I get an email pinging me saying that we've got a voicemail or a text that came into that main line. And then we got weekend warriors. So you're one of our weekend warriors.
I am.
So we're rotating through our team. So we always have people on call on the weekends. So a common thing that we hear is like bankers or credit unions is they go dormant.
Yeah, they can't get a hold of their lender on the weekend, and that's when you need them.
Yeah.
Because that's when you're out looking at homes, and that one comes on the market, and you got to be ready.
Totally, and you crush it on that. Like, so then it's helping with pre-approval numbers, or typing in an address, or...
even doing a consult.
Yeah, and we'll even do, you're right, we'll even do a consult at that on the weekends.
Yep.
They found the house that checks all the boxes. Yep. So what are they doing next with you?
So what they'll do is they'll let me know that they want to put an offer together. And instead of just sending them a letter, I'll say, great, let's talk strategy. So I'll go over what are you thinking of offering? And I'm also going to update Andy because he's going to be able to strategize on these are some things that we can do to help you win. So instead of just providing a letter, we want to know, one, when the offer is going out so that we can help you and provide you with the letter that you need to show your lenders looked at the house and you qualify. And also we're going to go above and beyond that to let the agent know we spoke with them. This is what we had seen on our side to do for the offer. And then also, will you update us when the offer goes out? Because then Andy or myself are going to call that listing agent, which is huge because that's going to help establish trust with all the agents that, you know, the lender is here to support you. We've verified the documents and made sure that they qualify for the property.
Yeah, that's a big deal because then for the seller, they're knowing that they're representing the seller.
Absolutely.
And they want to make sure their seller is going to close on time at the terms that everybody has discussed, and financing is a key part of it, right? Especially in the world of the push a button, get a mortgage world,
Right.
right? They want to have the trust as a local lender that we know what we're doing. I feel like this is just a secret little, box that most loan officers don't do, is open that communication channel with the listing agent. And then
Right.
we're calling them all the way through.
Right.
So they've made the offer, we've called, and then they're communicating with you monthly payment, down payments, terms, right? Just to make sure that they're comfortable,
Correct.
right? And then the offer is getting accepted, right? That's the goal, at least.
That's the goal.
Yeah. And that right there for a lender is actually one of the hardest parts, is to take a client from lead to getting an offer accepted. That's
Yep.
why loan officers close less than 2 deals a month right now, because they don't know how to help a client get through that. So for us, for existing homes, we have been a top 10 loan officer in the state of Minnesota on existing home purchases for like 5 years in a row, because we got a system,
Yep.
right? But there's more behind that. The system doesn't tell the story, right? Like at all. So we have tons of stories after closing thousands of clients. So I know it's something that you love to be like their cheerleader. Is there a story that jumps top of mind to you of a client that we've been able to help get an offer accepted on?
I think for me, the biggest thing is I love working with first-time home buyers, because I was there myself at one time, and just making sure that being supportive and excited for them for their journey. They went from renting and overpaying for their lease to not thinking they would ever be able to purchase. And we gave them the guidance to help them win. And I also love helping my friends, because I get to be there and be excited and be like, can't wait to come over for a barbecue. I mean, I just helped someone recently, and they never thought they'd get out of their townhome, which was growing too small. And now they're like, my kids get to have their own rooms, and that's so exciting. And my dog gets to have a backyard to run in, and I just love hearing about that. So just seeing the excitement from Andy advised us to pay off this and this to be able to afford this payment, and now that dream is becoming a reality. It's just so exciting to be able to support them and be there with them on that journey. So
I agree. Like, I feel like that first home is the most exciting one. So that it's just because it's like a lifestyle change.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you're going from renter to owner.
But also very stressful, because you're going from renting to owning and new expenses. And
You are scared.
yeah, you are. You are. You gotta adjust my budget.
Yeah. You're like, oh my God, buyer's remorse. I'm going to go broke.
Yeah.
I can't afford this payment. It could be the same payment
Yep.
that they're paying on rent.
Correct.
And you're still scared. So anybody
Yep.
who is experiencing that right now,
Yeah.
that you're like, oh my God, I can't afford to buy a house. Usually we can look at it and be like the non-emotional one.
Yep.
It's like, dude, all the numbers line up. You got the savings.
Right.
You can afford the payment.
Right.
You just need that little like push
Yep.
over to be able to do it.
Yep.
So something I see, and so you're so good at helping people get to the credit application point. Something I always think is interesting is when we give them the pre-approval, it's like the golden ticket.
It is.
They will tell us, I'm not going to buy a house
Yep.
for like 6 months or a year.
Yep.
And they will buy a house that weekend.
They will. It happens way too often.
Yeah, like-
I'm not ready. I'm not looking until this timeline. And you just give them that, and then it's like the door's open, and they're open to suggestions and homes now. And
Yeah.
it happens quick.
It's like the clouds part.
Literally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
It's
and
so
they're
exciting.
like, I'm gonna do it right now, or the one.
Yeah.
It's all of a sudden once they have the letter,
Yeah.
right? They're like, the one popped up. It was like, it's actually because you realize you're ready to go.
Right.
So if we can get in front of them quickly and give
Yep.
them that letter,
Yep.
like it gives them permission
Right.
to buy.
And then also strategizing on if there's a lease expiring. A lot of people feel like they're bound to that. And there's ways that they can kind of work with their landlord. And that's what we've done too. We had someone who's closing this month, I believe, that she thought she wasn't going to purchase until this fall. And she's like, if the right home comes up and I can work with my landlord, I will find a way. And it's all market-based too. First-time home buyers, the time to buy is now. It might not be beginning of spring, because that's when all the competition's out there. So we're helping them and making sure, hey, have you seen I love being like, hey, this house come in the market. Have you looked at it yet? Because I feel like it'd be a perfect fit for you. I'm doing that too, as well as the realtor, of course. So
Yeah, I feel like we're killing it right now for buyers getting offers accepted. I think we've gotten like something like 40 in the last 60 days. It's like crazy.
It's been crazy. It's been fun.
Yeah, totally, which is like amazing. And it all has to do with getting into that midsummer time where the market slows down just enough.
Just enough.
Right. And that is like, I can think of someone I met with on Friday of really encouraging them. They were really frustrated that it's like, I can't come up with the down payment and closing costs. I was like, don't worry about that right now. That we're going to talk to your realtor and this is the time, right? To buy right now to be able to negotiate seller paid closing costs.
Right.
And it kind of like help cool them down a little bit that it's like, hey, like if there is a time to buy, this is it.
Absolutely.
Don't try in March.
Yeah.
It can be a little rough.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just helped them like release that anxiety of it's not going to happen for me. I feel like we have to believe in them just as much as the realtor does.
Right.
To be able to help them get that offer accepted.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So how about what we're doing right now for like move up buyers, where the average person has like 200K in equity and helping them pay off debt.
Yeah.
Can you give some examples of that?
Absolutely. So people come, when you're looking at buying your second home and you have a lot of equity, you're thinking from the get-go, I'm just going to put all of this onto the home. But really what happens is it might not move the needle as much as you're looking for the monthly payment. So what we can do is we can look at what are your current debts, what are your payments, and advising them on maybe just do this much down and pay off all this debt. And then it opens up a whole new budget for you to be able to afford this home and have that nest egg and have that comfort on going from this payment to this payment, which some people never think about. So it's huge.
It is.
Yeah.
I think it's like quite a few clients recently where we like let the leash out a little bit on price for them then.
Right.
Where it's like, all right, you're going to knock out the camper and you got 10 grand left on the truck. And you got 10K in credit cards. We wipe that out. That saves you like $1,500 a month.
Right.
And they're like, oh my gosh.
Versus
like,
a couple hundred on their monthly payment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and then all of a sudden it's like, that's $150 in bigger price that you can spend.
Yep.
And it goes to like a whole level of home.
Right.
It's not even like comparable.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They're getting like a lifestyle home at that point in time, which is super, super cool. And we do the same thing on first time home buyers.
Yeah.
Where they've like saved a bunch of money. And then they were worried to even pay off debt. It's like, no, you got to term that out.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel like that tactic is like lights out one of the best tactics to help people with move up to counteract the high rates right now.
Right.
It's a big, big deal. So is there any other stories of a particular situation that you felt like because of the little extra effort you did, it helped them win?
Yeah, I feel like people who come to us and then maybe it's the second or third lender they've talked to and they're just getting beat up in the market. They're not getting their offer accepted and they're not understanding why. And then just reaching out to us and it opens new doors. They didn't know about different opportunities that are out there, different ways to strategize on getting their offer accepted, which you go over in the pre-approval consultation. So I can't think of a specific buyer right now, but I know it's definitely been a strong tactic is us helping you understand how you can win and then helping them get their offer accepted is just amazing. They're getting beat up and finally it happened.
Totally. I feel like sometimes it's also them working with an experienced realtor.
Oh, absolutely. That's huge.
And a communicative realtor.
Correct.
Like how important is that to you?
It's huge. I can tell from the get-go if someone's not responding to me, it's going to be a hit or miss on if they're going to get an offer accepted. So
You're meaning the realtor.
Correct.
Like, so if the buyer's agent realtor doesn't communicate with you,
right,
that's probably the way they're communicating with everybody else.
Right. And then if you want to look at that house, how quickly are they going to be able to respond based on the market and things like that? Because those are key factors on helping you get an offer accepted, getting in before the open house, things like that. So
yeah, we see that, how aggressive the realtor is.
Correct.
Sometimes when we see maybe they're part-time or maybe they're not, they just aren't very aggressive and they're lackadaisical in their approach with the client, where we even see it, we're like, oh my gosh, this person's never going to get a house. Like if they're working with that realtor, or they switch realtors and all of a sudden they go with someone that's that style to a professional.
Right.
that knows how to get it done in 2024. All of a sudden they'll be in a house like immediately.
Right.
It's just unbelievable the difference between working with the right realtor and the wrong realtor.
Right. And we'll have people come to us that don't have an agent in mind, and they'll say, this is where I'm looking. This is what I'm looking for. And we want to get them set up with someone that's going to fit them. So that's huge.
It is big. And so for you, like what is your like favorite part about the job?
My favorite part about the job is just once they get that offer accepted, just being congratulating them. But I love seeing when they're like, I'm looking at these homes. I love looking at the house ahead of time as they send me the address. And then I'll be like, wow, I love that backyard. I really love that kitchen. That's going to fit you guys perfectly. And just really making them immerse themselves into that home and building that excitement for them.
Totally.
Versus just like, oh yeah, what a great house. Like, no, I love that backyard. You said you have dogs. They're going to love that backyard, or for the kids. And I just love doing that.
Yeah, I agree too, because I just love looking at houses.
Yeah.
Like it's just entertaining to me.
And there's some unique ones out there.
Yeah, there is. Like, asking one of my favorite things, it's always like, hey, is there a first project you're going to do on the house? And a lot of times carpet, paint, landscaping, covering up the green tile in the basement.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. Like, yeah, so it's fun to be able to hear how they're going to be able to make it into their own.
Right.
And make it unique to them.
Yep.
And we got to help them navigate challenges too. Because sometimes like things come up and they don't even know how to overcome like a basic challenge that gets put in front of them. Like we just had one, like 3 weeks ago, where the neighbor's tree fell on the house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like a week before closing.
Yeah. And really screwed some stuff up. It was like $50K in damage. So we're helping them get through that.
Correct.
Or helping them overcome a hurdle. Like you're great at consulting them when they're going to make the offer of what should seller paid closing costs look like. Should they look at a 2-1 buy down?
Right.
Or a 3-2-1 buy down?
Yep.
Right? Should you change products? For this house.
Right.
Like you're well versed on doing all of that.
Yeah, it's all depends on how long has the home been on the market for too. Because if it's been on the market for over 2 to 3 weeks, you can use different strategies that you might not be able to use if it's just being listed, because you'll get eaten alive sometimes if you go in asking for it right away. So
totally. First day on the market isn't the day to ask for a 2-1 buy down with seller paid.
Correct.
Yeah, usually you're going to get just kicked right out on that. When you're checking in, a lot of the times you'll check in with the realtor when the buyer's out shopping. Is there a common stressor that you're hearing from realtors right now of concerns that they're having about the market?
I think the main thing that I'm hearing is just they're not finding the home that fits their client's needs. And they just have to like loosen the leash, meaning the search area that they're looking at or the price range. So just making sure we're all on the same track on how can we help them find a house. But the limited inventory is huge and a stressor that I'm hearing both client and realtors.
Yeah, I mean, that just doesn't seem to be going away.
Yeah, not everyone wants a new construction where you can touch the neighbors.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely hear that too. It's like, okay, inventory is loosening up a little bit, but it's coming off the lowest ever.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like when you hear like inventory went up 10%, it's like, well, it was already at the lowest ever been at.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, ooh, it went up like 0.1%. It's like nothing. So I agree with that too. And we have so many people that come to us. It's like, all right, you're pre-approved for 500.
Yep.
And then they're like, okay, like I now have to look at 600 to meet all the goals that I want. And then we just update that for them real quick.
Right.
And they're back off to the races.
Right.
Yeah. And then they find the house that they want. That's why we like to usually pre-approve a little high too, because they might start low and then go up. How about the client? Like when you're talking with clients right now, like we hear a lot of frustrations from them.
Oh, absolutely.
Like give me an example of a couple frustrations when you're checking in with them on a pre-approval and they're shopping right now. What are you hearing from them?
I think the main stressor is obviously rates. They haven't moved as much as some people thought they were going to. And so they're just getting over like, I don't know if I can afford this payment. It's a little bit outside of my range. And we talked to them from the get-go that we are going to help you refinance when the opportunity comes up. So you're dating the rate. You're not marrying the rate. You're not marrying that payment. So you're just going to carry it for a short amount of time. And then our team is going to reach out to you and guide you on that monthly payment. And that usually helps them a little bit. But I also don't want them to be looking for that day. We don't know when that's going to happen. So just making sure, again, what about this home do you love? Can you afford this payment? And just really kind of re-engaging them in that.
Yeah, that's great. Any other frustrations they're telling you?
I haven't heard as many lately, but before it was just getting beat up about how many people were offering on properties and just letting them know, again, now is the time to buy because you're able to accept, like you said, seller paid closing costs are being accepted again. They're looking at government loans, which are harder to get accepted in the spring market and things like that. So just saying, keep looking out there. You never know when that home's going to come up or that opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like rates have been higher for a couple of years now. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing that is coming to say. I just looked at the Fannie Mae predictions. They just came out this week. Mm-hmm. And they were saying 6.2 next year. Average. Right. So a little lower than now, but
not much.
It's like it's not this big drop that all of a sudden your payment's going to go down $600 a month.
Right.
I feel like this is our new normal.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you're waiting for it to drop, but you need to buy, what's going to hold you back? What's going to change?
Yeah, nothing.
Exactly.
It's going to change.
Yeah.
So Allie, you're a rock star for our team. You do so many great things. You bring a lot of stability for our clients, and the follow-up is like amazing that you do. And thank you for all that. Thank you for being on the pod today.
Thank you so much for having me. Love working on the team.